Say, man, for those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what's coming next. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're gonna get to that other shit in a minute, but what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So before we do anything else, just vibe. It's about that time. You to just open up your ear and let me crawl into your mind. One time. What do you believe in? Not who. What? That's the important question. I believe in you. All I need is you to believe in me, and we going to the moon. Say, man, you better smile. What it was, y'all. Y'all should know who it is. If not, I'm gonna tell you this time. Can you read it? And y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge of Self. And this right here, this ain't shit but some cosmic insight, man. And hey, I just want y'all to know that right off the rip, I'm a company man. Yeah. This company. So you need to dig these blues. And you know, this placement right here, it has a lot to do with that, man. Because this right here, there's a little something about those people that have the moon in the 10th house of their natal chart. Yeah. And before we actually get to that part, what we're going to do first is, if you don't know my styles, I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown about the moon. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about the moon in the houses and how it might affect you. Then after that, I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown on what the 10th house of the astrological chart is actually all about. Then after that, we're going to bring it to a climax, which is actually what I do best. And I ain't playing. So without even wasting any more time, man, let's get started, man. The moon. The moon, this is our instinctive awareness. This is our emotional nature. This is how we feel. In Vedic astrology, they like to call the moon the mind, but I really think it's just all about who you are inside. So you have to understand that the moon is the closest celestial body in relation to Earth. So I really feel like it has the strongest effect on our moods and personality on a day-to-day basis. So think about it like this also. The moon, it controls the earth's waters and the earth's tides, and the earth is 65 to 70% water, where your body is 65 to 70% water too. So think about the effect that it has on you. Okay. And so when we're talking about the moon in the houses, what they can do is they can reveal how and where we go about seeking emotional security and satisfaction. And looking at the house position of the moon, we can really find important clues to any reasons for any perpetual emotional unrest, which could really take forms of, constant changes or ups and downs in the area of life ruled by whatever house that she's in. Okay. And it's in these areas too that we should really seek to make deep emotional attachments rather than superficial and temporary emotional thrills. If we're ever really going to be seeking any true feeling or belonging or emotional fulfillment. And see, when we're talking about whatever house the moon's in, that's what it's always going to be about, is how are we going to find emotional validation? Okay. And so when we're talking about the 10th house, okay, with this being one of the angular houses of the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th, the 10th is also called the house of social status, man. This is the highest point in the chart. It's the most visible point in the chart, man. And it's all about our career and social grouping and our energy in society as a whole, to be honest. And with the 10th, think status, the authority that it conveys, and consequently the role that we take in our community. Okay. It kind of speaks to any promotions we may receive or fame that we may require, man. And the type of businesses that we partake in, this could be in the 10th, man. And with respect to achievement, the 10th focuses on how we see ourselves and how the community, perceives us as well. And we really focus on manifesting ourselves here in the 10th, man. And vocation is extremely important here. And what role will we choose and how will we best fit? That's all about the 10th, man. How much do we really want to achieve? That's there, man. Career, professional goals, ambition, and motivation, they all come into play, man, when we're talking about the 10th house, okay? And take it from me. I got Mercury and Venus in the 10th house, okay? So I'm familiar with this 10th house energy, in Leo, okay? And Pallas Athena, whether you want to know that or not. And, the 10th can really speak to any authority that we have to deal with. And in a more practical complex, it could be the government or our employers, and all that could be represented here, man. And it also revolves around what we can do to us ourselves to rule over others. And, the 10th can really also be about ego gratification. Yeah, that's what I think it speaks of to the most. And the question of how will we manage the gifts that we've been given and the status that comes along with them, man. And with the 10th, just remember that not everybody is cut out for success on the grand scale. Okay. And this is going to let you know that. And everybody's important in their way. We all have to play our part in this big, humongous play, man, to make this stage, keep going smoothly, man. But if not, the whole thing blows up. Okay. And I'm just talking to you about your algorithm, but we don't want to go there. So when we're talking about having the moon in the 10th house, man, so having the moon place here, man, actually means a lot of different things. I mean, a lot of different things. But what it does really for me more than anything else is foster an emotional need to achieve and attain status and respect. Yeah. And not only that, it also indicates that, that the importance of a career in these people's lives, is up there, especially with the closer that it is to the midheaven. Okay. And another way to look at it is like this, man. The 10th house is the highest point in the chart, as I've been telling you, man. And whatever planets and energy are placed here become visible for everybody. I mean, visible, not physical, visible for everybody to see. Pardon me, man. And so when you think about it like that, man, this tells me that other people see this 10th house moon person as a really gentle and sensitive soul who really just cares to a fault, man. And on top of that, man, let me tell y'all something. When I said I'm familiar with this energy, not only am I, do I have Mercury in Leo and Venus in Leo in the 10th house? I'm a Cancer. I'm a Cancer midheaven, and that's a lot what this is going to be like. Okay. But, this is going to be much more intense having the moon in the 10th. Okay. And when I talk about, caring to a fault, man, sometimes they care about not caring. in a lot of situations, man. And on top of that, man, or better yet, because of it, they often end up in careers that, put them in the public eye. And that's probably both a blessing and a curse for them, because people always have an insight into the lives of people with displacement, which, really, it's not always the most comfortable for people, man. And that how comfortable they are really on that really hinges real big on the sign placement here, man. Cause, it's in my estimation that, motherfuckers don't really, get any privacy with this placement of the moon here. But also, more often than not, they learn to live with it regardless, because they really inherently need that attention and that recognition and the status that comes along with everything that goes with it. So, of course, I can tell you that there are exceptions to every rule, man. There really are, man. But these are not typically very introverted people either. To be honest, man, these are naturally emotional and charismatic people who, really feel at home in the limelight. And even if they don't become celebrities, even though, some with displacement actually do, more than a few of them, are people who are really known by everybody in their community, man. And just taking all that into consideration, this should really help you understand that these people's image and these people's reputation, that's everything to them, man. It means everything to them, man. In fact, their whole emotional well-being is pretty much attached to it in this case, man. So that alone can be a bitch in itself. Don't get it twisted. And the negative side of this one is a really increased sensitivity to the opinion of other motherfuckers, man. And they want to live up to the expectations of the next motherfucker just so bad that it really makes them vulnerable, to be honest, man. It makes them feel that way, to be, at least, man. And the thing is, they have such a really perfect image of themselves, man, that they can really get too caught up in chasing that unattainable ideal. And that could really mess with them, because whatever it is, man, like, you ain't going to be able to get there, man. There's no such thing as a perfect human being. Never forget that. Never forget that. And let me just switch lanes too, man. The moon represents the mother. And in this case, man, having the moon in the 10th really tells me that the mom was probably a pretty successful lady, or just really well known in her career. And in some cases, it might let me know that she was a public figure in some form, or a person of really high social standing, at least, man. And moving on from that, what this really boils down to is a person that, their career is a major source of emotional safety for them, man. And nothing makes them feel more down than not being recognized for their work, and not being recognized for their talents, and not being, people knowing that, hey, man, this is somebody that's a force to be reckoned with, man. And that's real, man. They really put on for their peoples, and they want to be known for that. They want to be known for that. And with the 10th house moon, their work is also really tied to their emotions, and, their emotions are tied to their work. And these are the type of people who, make emotion-based decisions, whether that be for better or for worse. So sometimes you got to be on the lookout. Okay. You got to be on the lookout with that. And along with everything else, man, this also indicates that the native works best with women, or, at least with people who are more on the compassionate and receptive side. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when they doing their thing, or if you know somebody with displacement, or if you have displacement, if you're not doing that, that's something to look into, man. And lastly, man, with the way that the moon fluctuates, it's a good chance that these folks will probably go through a whole bunch of changes before they ever really find their niche. But once they do, you know what I'm saying? It's on and cracking with this one. It's on and cracking with this one, man. They're usually extremely successful. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they just really develop some really strong emotional bonds with their bosses and authority figures, which tends to help them grease the wheels of success, man. So, hell, even if it don't work out like that, Just remember, just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. It doesn't matter where you have the moon at. It doesn't matter if it's in the 10th. It doesn't matter if it's in the 5th like mine. You don't have to feed into that shit, man, because we all have all this energy available to us. What we do with it is what you do with it. You got to understand that I just told you that I have my moon in the 5th house, but I'm also a Cancer midheaven, which is a lot having this placement. So think about how the ways that these placements play out and how, dang, we really do have this available to us in different ways. What you do with it is what you do with it. Understand? And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And this been some priceless knowledge of self. If y'all fool me on any level, man, like, share, and subscribe, man. If you're watching this and you dig me even in the slightest bit, maybe you dig me, man, and you ain't feeling the content, hit that like button and share this mug. Maybe you ain't feeling me. I get on your nerves, but hey, I spit some really awesome knowledge to you, man. Hit that like button, share this motherfucker, subscribe if you haven't done yet. If you're interested in the astrological readings whatsoever or any merch, you can either hit me up in the comments below or email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Hey, I appreciate all the love and support, man. Y'all keep it real till we come back next time, man, because to be honest, that's all I know how to do, and that's all I'm going to do. Okay? We'll talk to y'all.